For more on the importance of tomorrow's midterm elections, let's welcome GOP strategists Ashley Davis and Ford O'Connell. Great to see you both, and thank you so much for joining us. Ashley, I want to go ahead and start with you and just set the scene, what we're hearing from Real Clear Politics, right? In-person voting, election day is tomorrow. Looks like the Republicans are going to take the House. The forecast is 228 seats with 33 as toss-ups. But when it comes to the Senate, it is much tighter. 54 seats forecast for the Republicans, 46 for the Democrats, with 4 that could go either way. And obviously, those are very tight races. And Jeff just started in Pennsylvania. So, Ashley, let's start there as well. Just explain to our viewers how crucial that particular race is when you look at the overall scheme of the Senate and how things could work out tomorrow night by the math and the numbers.
Well, Pennsylvania is very, very, very important, and I'm a Pennsylvania girl, so I love talking about it. But you have counties that are traditional blue dog Democrat counties that are really, their number one concern right now is the inflation in the economy and crime, and you see a lot of them turning to vote for Republicans. I do think that there will be a lot of split votes between the governor's race and the Senate race, where people will vote for Dr. Oz and also vote for Josh Shapiro, who's the Democrat governor candidate. One thing I think everyone should watch tomorrow night as Pennsylvania's coming in. If Dr. Oz gains 34% in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties, he should be able to win the race. That's kind of the key number that everyone watches, because the rest of the state is more Republican and have higher numbers.
Okay, and lots of big guns campaigning this weekend, Ford. We've got a montage of sound bites that include one from President Biden, one from former President Obama. Listen to this.
2 days is the most important election in our lifetimes. It's going to take shape in this country for decades to come.
Biden and the far-left lunatics are waging war on your jobs, your safety, your values, and your freedom.
If you help Democrats keep the House and get a few more seats in the Senate, you can guarantee he'll make more progress on the issues you care about.
America's the best country in the world, and we're not going to stop fighting for her until we get her back and we make her strong again.
Nikki Haley and Donald Trump out for the GOP. Your reaction to both sides making the final push this weekend, Ford?
Well, Democrats are hitting the panic button in Pennsylvania, and they're hitting the panic button in all of the major Senate swing state races. The Republicans are going to win the Senate. The only question is by how much, and Donald Trump is absolutely right. The reason why the Democrats are losing is because of inflation and their absurd positions on crime, border security, what's being taught in school, and on domestic energy production, which is very, very important in Western Pennsylvania.
Ashley, I want to come back to you because you both brought up the economy, but you mentioned it a little bit earlier. And Ford's making the point that this is, an issue that's impacting people, hitting them where it hurts, in the wallet. And this is the Democrat response to that. This is Representative Sean Maloney.
I grew up in a family where, if the gas price went up, the food budget went down. We'd be eating Chef Boyardee if that budget wasn't going to change, right? So that's what families have to do.
If gas prices are going up, families have to eat canned foods, Ashley. I mean, that's not really acceptable to a lot of people in this country.
Well, and I think that this is the entire problem, and why you're going to see a huge red wave tomorrow night is the Democrats are completely out of touch with what American people are feeling. I mean, there are people around this country that don't know how they're going to feed their families, that don't know how they're going to get to work because of the gas prices. And when you have comments like that that are just so undermining to what people do, hardworking people, Americans do, that's why they're going to vote them out of office.
And speaking of what American people are feeling, I'm so glad you brought this up, because our show hit the streets to ask them if they were better off than they were 2 years ago. Listen.
Are you better off than you were 2 years ago?
Absolutely not, because I don't have enough money to live because everything's so expensive.
No, I'm not. It's everything: economy, the open borders. A regular person like me, we see everything out there and it's lousy. They're not controlling everything. Our gas prices are going up.
I think no. I think the economy is not what it could have been or what we hoped for.
I'm looking for things to change tomorrow for sure.
Definitely the economy. I am concerned with women's rights as well. And the abortion issue concerns me greatly. However, the economy is number one.
And Lee Zeldin, running for governor in New York, made sure to be clear that New York's laws wouldn't change if he was the governor. But when it comes to what people care about the most, guys, you look at this ABC Washington Post poll. Economy, 80%, top of the list. Abortion, 62%, lower part of the list. Climate change, what we've spent so much money on in the last 18, 19 months, 48%. So, Ford, how do you think people are feeling?
People are really frustrated. Main Street in particular, because inflation in the economy has decimated the way that they live. And the Democrats are tone deaf to this. If I have to step back, this entire 2022 midterms is the my money, my family midterms. And the reason why the Democrats are going to get crushed tomorrow night is because they've been absolutely tone deaf. And when you have someone like Sean Patrick Maloney, who's essentially saying you should be able to eat Chef Boyardee because Joe Biden is choking off oil and gas domestic production, he needs to understand how tone deaf that is, not just because it's canned food, but Chef Boyardee for Main Street is a luxury item. When you're broke and you can't eat, you're eating pasta and you're eating things cheaper than that. But the Democrats have become an elitist party. They've forgotten about working class Americans, and they've forgotten about protecting their families, and that's why they're ultimately going to lose.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, Ford, you know, rather than give a solution like that, why don't you try to fix inflation? Ashley, I just want to give the last word to you. We talked a little bit about Pennsylvania, but quickly run me through Arizona, Georgia as well. These are big states that we'll be watching.
Well, in Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and I think even New Hampshire, that we are potentially going to win these seats, or we are going to win these seats because of the governors that are also running in those states. If you look, no one's talking about the governors' races as much as they are the Senate and the House. But we have so many governor's races that we're playing in that we haven't played in forever. Oregon, Connecticut, Maine. But also we have in Georgia with Governor Kemp, if he gets 54%, he could bring Herschel Walker over the finish line and not have to have a runoff a month later.
It's a great point, and obviously I'm watching New York very closely. This is a very deep blue state. We haven't had a Republican governor in 20 years, and we will see what happens tomorrow night. Ashley Davis, Ford O'Connell, thank you so much. Great to see you.